God speaks through events. One such was towards the end of student days in Bangor. A letter was passed on to me by my spiritual father after the Welsh Mass, inviting to get in contact with Abbot Smith, of whom I had never heard. The result was my going to talk to him in Cardiff, and he said to come over for the ordination of Brother Thomas. And that was a powerful grace. The abbot preached a sermon at his first Mass, concluding with the words of St. Norbert, "Priest of God, what are you? You are nothing. You are everything." And that word sank in. The novice master gave me around that time a book to read on the spirituality and history of the order, and reading it, leaning on my elbow on the grass opposite the entry to the abbey, I came across a quotation from St. Thomas, whose feast it is today. "Contemplare et contemplata ani istradere." To contemplate and to hand on to others the things contemplated. And it hit me like a bolt. One was called to be a contemplative, but to overflow. And as Thomas pointed out, it was better to give off light than just to burn. And so one could remain a true contemplative if one loved Jesus and did as he did. He spent the night in prayer often, but he radiated and gave off in the day. We can do the same. And with the adoration going on day and night at the Abbey, I was able to pick up that it is not either or, but both and. And from the monstrance, these words seem to come out: "I am here, why look any further?" After vows, the abbot said, "We're sending you to Rome." And that meant going to the university precisely of that saint, the Angelicum. In the Angelicum there is adoration while classes are going on, and one walks through the cloisters where many walked before, and one does one's public defense at the same place as everyone else in past generations. John Paul II, Pope Leo, they all stood in the same spot at the aula to defend themselves in public exam. History. We move on, but the truth carries on unchanged, and we are called to defend it, but in the first place to know it. "Bene scripsisti de me, Thomas," said the Lord. "You have written well of me, Thomas." And he went on, "You have written well of the sacrament of my body." We would do well to recall how he defended and shielded the sacred body, insisting that only things consecrated could touch the consecrated body of the Lord. A truth to be remembered before we hand glibly on the sacred species to unconsecrated hands. O Master of the vineyard, what are these white robes that are yet offered to a soul that could again be plunged in grace, which sees the small, the great, the greater, and the whole within a moment's vision, when the sight of what is seen and studied is seen less than things not yet beheld in regions bright that open at the stroke of limbs that bless. O world beyond the world, can words beget new angel bands to walk toward thy shore? And is there use for thought more fruitful yet than inward thinking, that packed well its store? Is there a way, good Lord, that we can walk together, thought in thought, and of this talk?